Welcome back. This is episode 2 of Jared trying to survive on this frosty planet. Set up a few rooms for our reindeer friends here, Dasher, Comet, Prancer. Set up a new building, an ice liquefier. That seems to be essential for the supercomputer to run. Farming, bit of an issue there. Food's getting low, but I've doubled the farm, but I don't have enough seed necessarily to actually put them all in. But oxygen is probably at the highest risk at the moment. I've got to find a source other than oxylite for these guys to be able to breathe. Dupes are digging out some pieces of oxylite at the bottom of the base, but once this burns off, we better have another source in place or we are sunk. We're on cycle 11, and this is the plan. I'm hoping to dump some water that's been melted in this kettle, this location. That's going to send in this pump and make its way to this electrolyzer. Let's start dumping some water here. Let's see if that makes its way into the pump and ultimately into the electrolyzer or not. Because the oxygen situation is, it's okay right now, but it's not going to stay that way. Eventually this oxylite won't exist anymore. Dancers picked up some water. They're dumping it in this liquid bottle emptier. That's making its way into the pipes. And ultimately making its way here. So the water that's there, as long as that doesn't freeze, this is going to be okay. Let's turn this back down for a moment. Maybe what I'll do is add some insulated pipes just to sort of make a path around. But that's going to give us our first pieces of oxygen that has been developed on this base, other than plants or oxylite. A short new pipeline. I'm going to cut this right there. Don't want this to be too long because we don't want to see anything break in the pipes. That's hopefully going to allow us to continue to run this. We've got a bit of food, producing some oxygen, so there is hope that we might be able to survive a bit longer. Starting to dig out this area, and the dupes have a plan to melt this slab of ice. One thing I would like to have is a thermo sensor. I also want to have a rock crusher on base as well. We are no longer accepting dupes at the moment, even though things are improving. A bonbon gourd seed. Yes. No idea what that is, but yes. Given Comet the grilling skill. It's time to put on our hats. Actually kind of curious what the new dupe looks like with their frosty hair. Where are they? There you are, Prancer. Rock crusher is being installed by Prancer. Looks like we need to fill up more water in this. Extending the line just a little bit more. Dasher is giving us some water for that so we can continue to breathe. And the plan is to put a granite slab here and heat up some ethanol down here and have that ice melt. Hopefully that will be better than using this guy here, our kettle, which consumes our limited supply wood. The dupes are quite curious what the use of mercury is, but they decide to play it safe and create some iron first before we experiment with this mercury element. The water outside the insulated pipes is freezing much quicker than the water inside it, so the dupes are adding some extra line. So next to this liquid tempedizer, we've got our temperature control and automation. The first automation being installed on this base. We're going to bring in some power, might connect to a separate circuit than the main circuit. And then it's just a matter of getting some liquid that can access this guy. That's probably going to come from ethanol. I could either pump it down, or if I'm able to, I should actually just be able to get it to drop in. Prancer to do crop tending or critter ranching. I'm thinking critter ranching. Dancer and Vixen is digging out some igneous rock so that we can insulate around this guy here. I think with a bit of oxygen and 20,000 calories of food, we can bring in Cupid. Interested in researching cooking suit wearing. Definitely seeing the benefit of frost-proof. Probably only going to bring dupes in that have that for the next little bit. So let's add in some insulation underneath this guy. Looking at this bonbon gourd seed, it synthesizes light to make nectar. It also produces wood. Okay, so we can now produce our own wood if I get this thing planted, I suppose. It is temperature minus 15 or below to minus 775, so that is ideal for the environment we're in. One of the things about this setup is I have to remind the dupes when to put in some water. Dancer's picked up the gone gourd. We're gonna see if it has enough light there. I'm hoping that's the case. Fertilization. What needs to go in here? Snow. Okay, fair enough. Should be easy. We've got some snow in this guy, and it is starting to grow. I see we've got some ice here. Not ideal. But hoping we're going to switch over to making water in a different way soon enough. We're going to start off by digging up here to get this ethanol to flow down into this zone here. Start to charge some batteries for this heater too. Prancer and Cupid is starting to dig up to get at this ethanol. Here's the big moment. Prancer's going to knock that piece of ice out of the way. That's going to lead to all this ethanol flowing down. It's going to take a little bit, but once it arrives down here, this guy should start to heat up. Let's see if the temperature is below. Let's go with 30 degrees for now. This ethanol seems to be building up here, not making its way down. Let me get the dupes to try to do something. We'll start with digging here. Looks like Cupid has some food poisoning. We'll try digging this out to see if this ethanol will continue to flow. Hopefully it does. Cycle 18. Just that little bit of air is in the way. Okay, there we go. It's continuing on its way. Excellent. We want to get that ethanol to fill up to get enough liquid in here. Of course, this might not fill up, but as long as the liquid tempedizer is satisfied with the amount of liquid it's in, it's not going to be an issue. So that's starting to rise. Over 10 kilograms. Now, 15. Reindeer dupes have researched and have started to install a fire pole. Whatever you do, do not stick your tongue on it. I think it is time to do some ranching. We've got enough liquid for our liquid tempedizer to start running. So we've got 2 of our reindeer running, generating some power for this guy to be able to run. We might start to see some green in the base instead of blue everywheres. The main goal really is to get this ice above to melt. We'll let that ethanol drain out a little bit more, and we're going to seal this up soon. We printed a shine bug. Probably want to move that out of the way so it doesn't end up getting in anyone's eyes when they're sleeping. Can't fit any more ethanol in here, so what the dupes are going to do, they're going to actually drain it out so it goes down here, it gets out of the way. And we've got 2 stables that are being built. I want to get some of these phlox critters over in this one, and this behemoth over in this one. So this guy here seems to eat these plants, and the phlox seems to eat this plant, so I think that might be a good position to put each of those stables in. So we ended up with way too much ethanol up in here, so I'm going to destroy this tile. There we go. Let's get that out of the way. Create a granite tile right there, and repatch that insulated tile. So with this liquid tempedizer, we've raised the temperature. It's about 40 degrees. It's taking a little bit of time. Oh, I love this heat animation. But maybe we'll try going up to 60 degrees because it's taking a bit of time just to make this granite tile warmed up. We've got to get heat here and then up into the ice. So I do see a little bit of melting animation. We're at -5. That's exciting. Thinking we may not need to micro-musher anymore. Yeah, you're happy about that. Prancer is doing some wrangling. We'll move that into our stable that's located over here. And they'll do some grooming on that critter. Let me just up the priority of this. There we go. Phlox is being groomed. We already got a chance to groom this guy down here. I am very excited to get at the first geyser on this world. Let's find out what's located right here. Guess no one can actually dig that. Looks like we do not have full coverage for light for this plant or tree. Let's see if we can fix that. So we found a cool slush geyser. Normally I'm super excited when I find one of these. I'm not sure what I think on this particular world. But we do need a source of water ultimately, but alright, let's dig it out. Not relying on the small amount of natural plants that are in here being enough to feed these guys, so we're going to plant at least one of these here. And one of these guys down here. And we have some water. It's cold water, but we have it. I need to get top up on this again. But we should be able to build a pump here and start using this. We've got some yucky lungs, so the dupes are going to start to research a deodorizer. Dancer is on the way over to make a path. I am very curious what this geyser is going to be. Oh, here is a machine. Probably not going to use that anytime soon, but there it is. We're starting to make our way down further. Lots of sleet wheat, lots of natural sleet wheat. That might be something that the dupes will be able to use. We build a pitcher pump that is giving us access to water from ice. So we shouldn't need this machine, I'm thinking. Anyways, another electrolyzer very close to this water source is being built, so we don't have to rely on this really annoying setup of having to draw up some water there. Cupid's becoming an electrical engineer, so it is probably time for a power plant. Here's the plans for a power plant. So we've got a power control station, 2 transformers, a bunch of batteries, and manual generators that are probably all going to be moved up here, so we can get some tune-ups on them. We've got an electrolyzer running. The only thing is that's not in a very central place for the dupes. So what I might try to do is take this line here and connect it over, going through the insulated pipes where I can. Maybe the first 2 aren't actually needed. Got some deodorizers installed. We also have Vixen, which has the ability to dig through abyssalite. Or obsidian, rather. Behemoth Egg is, well, big. Looks like this plant needs ethanol. We do have a little bit of ethanol around. But, actually, the last bit of it, I think, that we mopped up has probably already been consumed by this plant. So it looks like this critter has left us a surprise, a behemoth patty. A little treat left behind by a very large critter. It can be crushed to extract phosphorite and clay. Well, I don't like the idea of where it might have come from exactly, but you know what? It would potentially be a useful resource. One thing the dupes have forgotten about is the electrical grill, so it's time to build that. With the new grill, we can try some cooking. Pike apple. Barbecue meat for sure. Be careful with frost buns, because I don't want to consume all of the potential seeds, but we can make some of that. Let's go to consumable. Told the dupes not to eat any meat, but maybe we'll do the same thing with berry. Pike apple, or maybe berry's fine, but pike apple. And we'll only eat the skewered and the barbecue edition of those. Poke shell spawn. Not sure what the benefit of them they're going to be at the moment, but there they are. Might want to move them away from where they could snap at a dupe, though, at some point. Seems a pike apple doesn't go bad. But, let's click on the actual food item. That doesn't have any indication that it's going to go bad. But the cooked version, on the other hand, does. So we're definitely bringing it down here to a cold area. With carbon monoxide, same thing with our barbecue meat. But maybe we want to slow down the conversion of that just yet. We've got water going in from this system finally. to this electrolyzer. We're going to get rid of this old setup. I believe our power plant is online. We can get rid of this connection here, here, and here. And then I will go and connect this. Oh, some wiring needs to be finished. Make that a priority. And we're at cycle 30. I think I'm going to leave it here for now, but I am quite happy with what I see. Lots of new stuff. It's not just a new planet, but all kinds of new biomes and all that kind of interesting stuff. We found a cool slush geyser. Not necessarily super useful from heating perspective, but I'll probably be using the liquid at some point. Eventually I'm going to figure out what that guy is there. But I think the central piece is this. Hooking up ethanol and liquid temporizer can make a huge difference in this base. So I've gone from the last episode where I thought I probably wasn't going to survive to kind of being surprised at the moment. Just have to check out the food. I've got pike apple skewer, 4,000 calories, and barbecue, 20,000, so we're fine on that. Oxygen, pretty good on that, thanks to this water. Alright, well, it's been fun. I'm going to definitely continue at some point, so look out for another video in the future. So thanks for watching, and hopefully I will see you next time.